that's making demands, like we saw there with their legislators, making demands to oversee the humane treatment of people. Because what happens is when people come out of prison, they're damaged, they're harmed, they're hurt. I know, because I spent 8 years in prison, you know? And then folks want us to come back and just be great citizens, get good jobs, and pay our rent, and act cordial to everyone. And we've been dragged through shit, you know, for 8 years, 10 years, 20 years, and we're supposed to be this upstanding person? Give us some time. Give us some support, you know? And more so, if we have to incarcerate people, I say, why don't we treat them humanely? Because they're coming back home. As Randolph said, you begin to get angry. We don't want people coming out of prison angry, do we? Yeah, sometimes there's consequences to things we do. So prison might be the result of the consequences of something that we did. But at least treat us humanely and help us develop some alternative ways of thinking and behaving so that when we get out, we have a broader opportunity to do something to add on to the community. Does that make sense?
Again,
Y'all feeling me?
and I agree with that too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when I got out, I got a support team. You know, the Quakers been helping me. They put a support team and different people got on the team. And that helped me because I was lost. Yeah. And then you know what makes me mad that I be around people that been through what I've been through and they act like, you know, oh man, you should have been got your license. Or man, you should have been done this. And I be like, well, you might have had a better support system than I had when I got out, so it was a little easy for you. Or maybe you could have, you know, comprehend different things and learn different things a little faster than I did. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I sit back and think, and I be like, we went through the same thing. How can you really look at me and say, you should have been done this? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, a lot of things there, they call rehabilitation. I mean, they don't offer them nothing. If you don't go on roll squad, pick up paper, or you don't go in the kitchen and wash dishes 100-some degrees, they're gonna lock you up. But if you don't get a GED, it's okay.
How about that?
They ain't gonna mess with you, it's okay. It's okay.
And you said a word, and after I say this, I want to open it up to folks if you have any comments. But you just said, you know, they promote rehabilitation. But let's think about rehabilitation, you know, when many of our folks, myself included, who have found themselves in prisons and jails in our country, we typically come from marginalized, under-resourced communities, typically, all right? So when we think about the word rehabilitate, the prefix to do again, habilitate, which is to prepare, to adequately participate or to be ready. But many of us who come from marginalized communities, we have not been prepared to adequately partake. So how could we be rehabilitated? Right, when we have not had a chance to be rehabilitated. So it's bigger than prisons even. It's systemic because many of us come from very similar neighborhoods, schools, families, you know, that have not been properly funded, you know, have not been properly watched over like the rest of us, you know. And then we think about the 13th Amendment, right? Yeah, it says something to the effect that slavery has been abolished in our country, except when someone has been duly convicted of a crime. Come on, man, get the fuck out of here. You know? I want to open it up. Yeah, if you folks are open to that, to taking any questions or comments.
I have to say that something that came to my mind was, you know how they managed to pull off the strike because they all agreed that they weren't going to fight each other anymore? They were just going to, set it aside.
Yeah.
And I'm imagining what would happen if people who were in prison and people who were operating in prisons were to say, okay, we're not fighting no more. We're actually on the same side. We're both getting hurt. That, and a friend of mine was a prison guard, and that was what he was saying. He said that was one of the most worst things that ever happened to him, was being a prison guard.
expectancy is only 68 years.
I think it's short.
Oh, okay.
I mean, because they build up mental health too.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things that people don't understand what's going on behind the wall, that is going on behind the wall. You know what I mean? Things the human beings see, and you say,
And you're part of it.
you know, I don't understand. You know, when I first started one time, you know, you see other guys and they're getting raped and one getting stabbed to death, this guy hung himself.
Yeah.
You like, yo, what is this going on up in here? But you being taught, mind your business, stay on point.
Yeah,
Watch your back.
yeah.
So you know, a lot of times when I first got
Don't
out,
show emotion.
yeah, and that's why I try to tell people that when I first got out, and Gary and Billy took me to a restaurant, and he was speaking to somebody. I said, man, why you so friendly, man? Everybody, you don't even know them people. But then I thought about it, man, you ain't in prison no more, man. You people in the regular world.
Yeah.
And he see somebody, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Not pull him to the side one day. I said, man, how can you be friendly to everybody? You don't even know these people. And he's like, oh, so you locked up no more.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, kicked in like,
Yeah.
oh man, because I'm just getting out.
Mhm.
You know, people looking at me, I'm looking at them. I don't want to sit in the restaurant with my back there. I want to sit by the wall with my back on the wall. So,
I'm
you
still
know,
like that, 20
yeah.
years.
And then people say, oh man, it messed you up. You know what I say? You go through it,
Yeah,
and then you tell me how you feel.
yeah,
That you see people eating, and next thing you know, he got stabbed in the back.
yeah.
So I'm like, man, you catch me in the back. Yeah, bring it to me. You gonna bring it to me?
Interesting you said that. When we had the opening here on the 4th, I was talking to the journalist Rachel Crumpler, and she quoted me in a paper, in an article that came out, I think, on Monday, on the 4th. And I said something to the effect that I challenge any Department of Adult Corrections official to spend 24 hours in solitary confinement and tell me how you like it, you know? Why is it okay for us to treat certain groups of people inhumanely, but others get breaks? You become the president, hell, you know?
Hey,
Randolph, I can't imagine being in prison. But I assume a lot of us in here, we haven't been in prison. Your story, the first time I met you, that was funny. And, but Randolph, I know a little bit about anger. Bad enough if you're in there and you know you did it, but you knew you didn't do it. How do you just not beat everybody's face to pulp? I mean, you're a big guy. I mean,
I wanted to do it.
what kept you from just wailing on
Because I knew some guys in there just as tough as I was. And some of them was even tougher.
Mhm.
So I wanted to live.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, you know, I thought about a lot of things. You know, when you're in prison, a lot of people pick their fights.
Yeah.
Me, I try not to bring it to me. But when they come, I just want to deal with it and get it over with quick as possible. So I didn't want to bring trouble to me like that. So I was mad. Guards asked me, man, why you always walk around with that look on your face? I look at him. I said, man, you don't even know what I'm going through. And I don't even know why you even asked me that. He said, every time I see you, we'll see your face ball up. Smile sometime, man. You live to see another day. I'd be saying to my mom, man, if you don't shut up and get out of my face, man. I'm sitting here waiting for every time they call mail. I'm trying to see if this court will see my case and give me a new trial so I can prove my innocence. That's many people something else. But you know, I had to learn how to deal with it. It didn't just do it overnight. You know what I'm saying? Back and forth to the hole. I said to myself, man, why did I put myself through that? You know, I raised saying, kicking the door. They come in with the shield, whoop me to sleep.
Beat on you.
I wake up, I'm swole up. I said, man, I think I'm losing my mind putting myself in a predicament like that. You in a no-win situation. I said, it's a better way of me doing this. And you know what then? I start reading, I start praying. I start being more in tune with my family. My daughter ain't got big enough, so she come back from New York, so I'm starting to see her. So it's just started helping me out, open up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, things start getting better. And I just prayed one night, I just cried. I said, don't let me die behind these walls, God. Don't let me lose my mind. And after that, things started getting better. They brought me up for this thing called the MAP program that Governor Roy Cooper put in effect. So, programmer used to call me sometime down there, oh, Wilson playing, I don't like no games. You stay out of trouble. This is 1998. You're coming for honor grade in 2019. I know you ain't called me in this office to tell me no stupid stuff like that, man. I'd be so mad, man. Then I'm walking down the hallway saying, 20-something years, man, I ain't guaranteed to live that long. You know what I'm saying? So then they start calling me, I don't even come. I don't need to see a program, I already know. I got all the sentence. And then time more and more, I start seeing the light. It started being 2018. So they called me, you know, next year you come up for this. I'm like, oh man. You know, I gotta get right now. When you got hope, it helps. But you say, man, I get this honor grade, get me to work with these jobs, get out there, man, get with my family. You know, just be back in the real world with my kids. Find me a nice wife or something. I said, man, life finna get good for me. And it just, when you see it like that, you have hope.
Yeah.
Now,
Hope is important.
what the person would say 10 years ago, and I just knock his ass out.
Right.
Then I look at him and say, damn, man,
Yeah.
he picked me to want to bring that to.
Yeah.
I walk away. You know what I'm saying? Go sit on my bed.
Yeah.
Pray to God, man, please let me get through this. You know, let me get through it.
It just dropped off the wall.
But it sounds like also what you were describing is